Hi, honeys. Welcome back to Honey. Let's heal. We got the whole gang again here today. You guys want to say hi?
Good morning. What time? Good afternoon. What time is it?
Hello.
Natasha's shuffling our jar.
Okay. Oh, dang.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, this is a new one.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
you put the new ones in there?
Yes.
Cute.
Things to consider before becoming a parent. Mindset.
Ooh,
Kara
that's
just
a good
laughed.
one. Yeah, I'm so glad Kara's here with us for this one. The thing that got me starting on that topic or like writing it down as a topic is observing in people like what parenthood does to them, right? Like parenthood is the ultimate gateway to expansion. Like you will be forced to expand yourself in ways you never imagined. Um, and so like ideally you would want to be at a place where you set yourself up to expand that way. Um, so there's like minimal stress and strain on you and those around
Hmm.
you so that you can expand naturally and, soften your edges naturally. Um, I don't know. I mean, you guys are the experts. You guys are the parents here. Like,
Oh, I don't think there's any expertise in parenting.
Yeah,
This
agreed.
is like
think,
grab your
yeah,
butt and go. I mean,
yeah.
it is the hardest learning curve you will ever hit in your life
Hmm.
Yeah.
because not only are you raising these little innocent people, because they're not
Mm,
yours,
Right.
you are
right.
raising people. You have to examine yourself
Hmm.
and you cannot get out of it.
Yeah.
Your kids remember everything,
Mm,
and you have to learn from it and reflect. And
Hmm.
it changes you. And if you're not ready to change, because you have to change, because it's the first
Right.
time they've been children,
Hmm.
maybe not, but it's the
right.
first
That they
time.
remember.
It's the
Yeah.
first time on this level, right?
Right.
And
Right.
it's the first time that I've ever been a parent. And I tell my
Hmm.
kids this all the time. I don't know, but I will try.
Yep.
This is the
Mm,
first time I've done this, and so I make mistakes.
Yep.
Um,
yeah.
and you really have to like embrace yourself and be gentle with yourself because you're gonna fuck up.
Hmm.
Right. Right. Well, I think the whole phrase "I don't know" is something that is so deeply misunderused in our society.
Hmm.
Like when you ask a man a question, he feels the need to answer it. Even if he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, he will give you an answer. And it's like, if you had just said, "I don't know," you would have saved us so many headaches.
Hmm.
Um, Same with women too. Like it's not just men. Like women talk out of their ass too when they don't know something. Like if we understood that it's okay to say I don't know, that's
Hmm.
such a huge piece. Um, we could save so many hurt feelings and hurt egos if people would be able to admit that they don't know something,
Hmm.
right? Like there's that whole pie chart, right? We've talked about it before, like
Yeah.
things I know, things I don't know, things I don't know, things I don't know that I don't know, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Like that's the beauty of life is learning,
Hmm.
expanding yourself, expanding your consciousness, gaining new skills. Um, mm,
Well, with the things to consider before becoming a parent, if you think of more just like um, finances, money, you always have to pay for these little things. Values, figuring out what your own values are, what you want them to learn or what you want to teach them.
yeah,
Um,
Who the other half of said child is going to be.
yeah, that's a huge one.
huge,
Yeah, because not everybody stays together.
Hmm.
right?
And so you really have to, or should, consider who that person is. And I know we all go
Yeah,
into marriage or a relationship with high expectation, but it doesn't always
Right.
work out that way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
who is this person going to show up as? And are
Mm-hmm.
they going to show up?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yep.
yeah. Like dating for marriage and like trying to find the father of your children versus just being out there and dating whoever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it really makes a difference on who you're looking for. If you're looking for the father of your children or just the partner in the bed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they can be the same person, but a lot of times you're looking for different things.
Right.
Well,
But finances, religion or spirituality,
mm-hmm.
how we're going to raise our children. Are we going to raise them to think this is the only way to source, or are you going to offer them an education and let them choose and
Mm-hmm.
pick how they're going to develop? Because I feel like myself growing up, I was kind of told this is what we're going to do. I was not
Mm-hmm.
educated until I brought that upon myself.
Same.
And so, something, if we are wanting to vibrate at a higher level, we have to be accepting that our children might have different views, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's so beautiful to see things from their perspective. And then you get to be like, oh, I never would have thought of it that way.
Mm.
Right? Like, thank you for sharing that with me. Like, when I think about working with kids and all the different ways I've been able to soften and expand because of their like infinite love, their like just their innocence, their like unconditional love. I don't know, right? Like, they're just so pure. And it made me so
And they're
excited.
curious.
They're
Mm-hmm.
curious, playfully curious. It's like
Hmm.
you don't have to teach them anything. They will teach themselves if you just set up the environment appropriately. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's one of the huge problems with our education system, right? Is like we only have this one way of learning when we have, however many people there are, and each individual person is going to learn a different way
Mm-hmm.
than the next guy. But that's not taken into consideration. You're just forced to fit a mold that is absurd and kind of diabolical when you learn about it and look into
Mm-hmm.
it. Um, yeah, I think about all those kids that weren't good at school, and I'm like, they probably think they're dumb, but guess what? They're not dumb. They just
Mm-hmm.
didn't learn in this linear way, right? Like our brains are so much more than just the reason and logic, but that's like kind of the system that we're forced into
Mm-hmm.
for a reason, but that's another topic for another day.
I
Mm.
feel
So,
like I'm
like
stuck. Things to
for
consider
you,
before becoming a parent.
yeah, for you guys, like what was that process like, right? Like, did it happen out of nowhere? Was it something you planned for? Um, Talk about your own experiences.
Yeah. Well, we planned because I had medical issues that made it harder to get pregnant. So it was
Mm,
very much something that we had talked about and had a conversation about. It wasn't surprise. It
yeah,
was okay, yay, it finally happened. Um,
yeah.
but I guess I don't even remember what I really considered. It was just something that I really wanted, and
Mm. Like an innate wanting, like, or do you think it was like, was it from your
like
heart or was it from your head or both?
definitely from my heart for sure. Like
Awesome.
really wanted to have a child. Did not care what kind of child I had. Didn't matter if it was a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm trying to think of things that we considered. Like we talked about, like where we would want to live and like what
Mm,
kind of school we would want them to go to. And um, um, religion, neither of us were super religious. And
yeah.
I think my oldest has been to church more with other people than he has with us because
Yeah.
the babysitter that we had, she went to church and confirmation and stuff like that. So like he would go with her,
Yeah.
and he spent more like the little Bible camps that he did were through daycare or because he wanted to, not
Cool.
because I made him go.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but outside of that, it was something that we had both wanted.
Yeah. Did you guys
And
have you guys had like a conversation of like,
yep,
um,
when if we were ready to have kids,
yeah,
or if we weren't, I was
yeah,
ready before Chad was, so I just had to wait, a
yeah.
while for him because you
I bet
can't
that's really common.
force somebody or
No, and you
get
shouldn't.
mad right, you can't just get mad because they might not be ready yet,
Right.
because that's the worst thing is to force somebody into something. And then same with our second, it was, you know, do we want to have another one? Are we
Yeah.
willing to have another one?
Yeah.
And then just going from there. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. Kara, what about you?
I think I just had I think okay, so when I was growing up, I saw my mom work professionally and I just like that was so amazing. She
Mm.
dressed up every day. She was this businesswoman
Yeah.
and like I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. Like that's baddie, right?
Yeah.
And never wanted to have kids. Yeah, I just wanted to do my own thing, my horses, da 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 da.
Right.
Meet someone, I think, I don't know, 27-ish or so.
Interesting timing.
And then like at that point, it's like, well, there's no
Right.
time but this present. Um,
Right.
and so like right after we got married, then we started trying and got pregnant, lost a child in between.
Mm.
Um, and then they told me that they didn't know if I would be able to
Sure.
after that loss. And so didn't even think about it. And then boom, I was pregnant again.
Yeah. That's the way it
And so
happens,
like
right?
we didn't have I don't we didn't have a lot of those conversations. It was just
Yeah.
kind of fly by the seat of our pants.
Mm.
His career was different, so we moved a lot. And so I was in pharmaceutical sales, wearing the business suits every day, doing the things, to okay, um, I'm going to raise my children. I'm not going to
Mm.
work outside of the home. And so that's what I did. I was able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a lot of pushback from my dad, actually. He
Mm.
just could not believe that I would leave this successful career because I was doing well.
Right.
And
Right.
and being there for another person, my baby was more important than me or
Mm-hmm.
to me than having the career and having that, stature
Yeah.
or perceived
Yep.
power or whatever. It was more important for me to be there for my
Mm-hmm.
kiddos. And thank God I was able to do that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
something for me personally. And it's not for everybody.
Right.
And I did go back to work when they were a little bit like 3 and 5-ish, whatever.
Yeah.
Just a little, just part-time, but
Right.
I did allow myself to have that space for the children.
Yeah.
And that
Amazing.
that was more important to me. I knew that. I knew if I was gonna have kids, that
Yeah.
I was all in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Love that. My first download, like my first psychic download, I was 8 years old. I was out at my cousin's farm and we were playing school or something. Actually, I think I was by myself, but I was like playing school. And I remember just like out of nowhere, just like stopping what I was doing and just being very still and just having this knowing of like, okay, the most important thing I'm going to do in this life is be a wife and a mother. What the hell does an 8-year-old do with that information?
You
Like,
knew then that it
that's
was a very important role.
crazy. Yeah, but I also was like playing. So I was like, oh, okay, just like kept on playing, like didn't think anything of it. Um, and like I always knew that it was something that I wanted. But because of being adopted and all of the things, I knew that I would be okay if I didn't. Like,
Mm.
if I don't get to have kids, I'll be okay. If I don't find someone to build a life with, I'll be okay. I'm an only child, so I love being alone, and that can be a real problem sometimes.
For
But
partners and children.
yeah, but it feels like such a blessing to me because I've really got to figure out who I am, what my values are, what my needs are, what's important to me, and the energy that I want to bring to the world.
Hmm.
So I'm so grateful I got to do that before getting married and having kids because I look at my classmates and I see the people, who had kids right out of high school or out of wedlock or whatever, and it's just it's a lot of work when you do it that way,
Hmm.
right? Like it's really hard on you, it's really hard on the kids.
Hmm.
I remember it must have been like sixth or seventh grade, and like seeing all the divorce and stuff. I just remember being like, I'm never having kids before I get married because I need a husband that's going to be there. I'm never gonna have kids unless I know that the man will be there. Um, and I'm sure that comes from like my biological mom and like the way I was conceived and all of that. But it was like I almost made a promise to myself of like,
Hmm.
this isn't going to happen unless the circumstances are right. And when I think about, I've had two serious relationships like in college. And when I think about how I should have gotten pregnant during those times, where I'm like, like God was looking out for me, not letting me get pregnant by those people and not being tied to those
Hmm.
people for life. Um,
Hmm.
I remember just feeling really grateful for that over the last number of years where I'm like, my life could have turned out so freaking differently
Hmm.
if I had been tied to these people and these toxic systems.
Right.
Um,
Well, and I
and
think when you were talking about, like setting that intention of having this person that you were going to parent with your entire life, I
mm,
think we all go into relationships like that thinking it's going to be forever and that this is
right,
the perfect person and then things just happen. So
right.
then having to like reevaluate or relearn yourself like, well, who am I? What do I
Mm,
need? What didn't I get from this last relationship? Plus, then you've put in the fact that you have kids, that you're trying to
right.
navigate and parent that. So it's so hard because we all start like that, right? Like
Oh, totally.
it's all like, we're going to be together forever and our life is going to be so easy and everything's going to fall into place perfectly. And
Mhm.
then shit happens and experiences happen and
Right.
then not
It's like we
everything
don't
works out that way.
Yeah, we don't take into account that like change is constant. We're going to be growing
Mm-hmm.
constantly. So like, is this a person I can grow and change with? Is this a person that's going to grow and change with me, or are they going to demonize me for growing and changing?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've known for a long time, like, nope, that's not going to work for me. Yeah.
I think like when we're thinking about the topic, things to consider before becoming a parent, that's the hard part is because when at least for me, like I just thought like I'm going to marry this person, we're going to have kids and it's all going to be fine. And so
Yeah.
far so good.
Right.
Knock on wood. But get things happen and things change. I firmly believe too that most of us are like one tragedy away from fucking crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, we're all
Agreed.
one bad
Agreed.
decision away from a different
Agreed.
life. Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yep. And it's like, how do
Agreed.
you um navigate through those things and still
Yeah.
like stay on track
Yes.
while you're also trying to navigate if your partner, obviously if you experience like a loss of a child,
Hmm.
you're trying to figure it out for yourself and your partner's trying to figure it out and you're trying to fucking figure each other out too,
Yeah.
plus whatever, working, living, taking,
Right.
doing all of those
Meeting your
things. And
basic needs. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. I think one of the things I'm most grateful for, which like my younger self would have been so scared and like, but like I love that I've waited because I've been able to watch my friends have marriages and watch the dynamics between them and learn from their growing pains, but also like just to see like it's nitty gritty. Like
Mm-hmm.
you will see the worst of yourself, you will see the worst of them, and you still have to work as a team. You are still
Mm-hmm.
a cohesive unit that is choosing to do this together. And how are you going to move through that together?
I think
Um,
that's where a lot of couples get off track because they start fighting each other instead
yeah,
of fighting for something or for the relationship.
Yeah.
And then when that
totally.
dynamic changes, it's pretty tough to get it back on the rails.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. Mm. I mean, having a kid is it's such a I mean, it's the most beautiful experience on this planet, right? Like bringing new life, um, living out your divine design. But I feel like a lot of people get into it without realizing the level of responsibility that it
Mm-hmm.
takes. Um, and like my heart breaks for all the kids who don't have that solid unit, right? Because been there, done that. Like I just want to rescue them because I wish someone had rescued me,
Mm-hmm.
um, from the pain and suffering. Um, And when I think about it from like being that parent who's like letting their kid down on a consistent basis, that's gotta tear you up, right? Like that's gotta bring you to a breaking point. And that's scary.
I think that's the mindset shift that a lot of people don't make. Because I mean, I feel like I have been pretty consistent with my kids and reliable. Like I'm
Mm,
sitting here thinking, like, when have I let them down? When have I let them down?
mm,
Because I work so hard to be reliable
yeah.
and to be consistent because of that inconsistency and unreliability that I experienced. I'm
Mm,
sitting here, like, I'm literally thinking here, like, when have I let my kids down? It was so funny because on Friday, my oldest had a track meet. I told him that I wasn't going to be able to make it because of the weather was weird.
yeah.
And I was just like, we pulling the other one out of school. What was funny because we get there, but I didn't tell him that we were coming. So we were sitting in the bleachers, and after he found us, we were talking on the way home, and he goes, I thought that you weren't coming, and I said I wasn't going to, but I felt like we should, so we could be there. We only seen one event, um, which lasted, you know,
45 seconds.
for less than that because he's fast. But the drive was an hour and a half. What doesn't
Oh
matter,
yeah.
right? Because you
Yeah.
just fucking go. And
Right.
he said, well, I thought I was going to have to ride the bus home. So I was talking to the kid that I was standing next to about how I was going to have to ride the bus home. He said, and then I looked in the bleachers and I seen you and I seen my brother. And that's how he knew that he wasn't going to have to ride the bus home. After he was telling
Goosebumps.
his friend that, he goes, I looked and I seen you. So he actually
Yeah.
seen me before he heard me screaming his name when he ran by me. But when I think of like becoming a parent, that mindset shift is big. And you now I think I'm kind of getting where your question's coming from now is it's not just like that physical end of meeting these basic needs, right? It's
Right.
um having to make the decision that you're not gonna fuck them up. You're gonna try not to fuck them up as best you
Right.
can.
Right.
And um and that as long as you are doing better than what you were taught and you're not hurting them in any way, they're going to be fucking fantastic. But you also have
Mm,
to do that work too of saying, well,
yeah.
this is where my parents fucked up. So I can't do that, even though I don't know what to do besides that. I have to
Yeah.
figure this out along the way. So they don't have to be wondering these questions when they're 42 years old, like I am.
Right. Right.
And I didn't have a lot of consistency or reliability. So I take that very seriously now
Yeah.
with my kids. And it's like, we're going to be here, or we're going to do this,
Mm,
but also teaching them when you say that you're going to do something, you have to follow through with it. But if
yeah.
I'm not following through with things when I say that I'm going to do them, I can't expect them to either.
Bingo. Bingo.
And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I've never made any mistake, but you know what? I work really
Right.
fucking hard to not at the same
Yeah.
time. I'm mindful of that.
Yes. Only a psychopath would say they've never made a mistake. You know, like that's a natural part of life is
Yeah,
sticking your foot in your mouth or making a mistake or handling a situation wrong. And it's like, well, are you going to beat yourself up for it or are you going to
right.
learn, right? Like last week we recorded a podcast and I didn't like it and I let myself down. I let you guys down and I my day was ruined. And then the
Mm,
next day I woke up and I was like, I'm not gonna let this drive my mood. I'm just not gonna make that mistake again. Like, I don't need to
Mhm.
beat myself up. We just won't do that again. And that's okay,
hmm.
right? Like, you're learning, you're growing, just shift. You don't
Yep.
need to, you don't, it's not the end of the world. It's one episode that's not gonna get released. Big deal. Like, but
And we're all
I,
so much harder on ourselves.
yeah.
And I mean, just what did you say to me? Tell that bitch to shut up.
For
This
your inner
one
critic,
in
yeah. For your inner
here.
critic.
And tell her that we
There's a
don't
time
need
and a place, lady.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
And it's
Yep.
okay to make mistakes.
Yep.
Hmm.
Totally. Totally. And like before I would have like avoided feeling those feelings, like I just wouldn't have let myself feel bad. And I think a lot of people do that. They dissociate from their feelings because they don't understand it or they're afraid of it or they make it mean something it doesn't mean. But because I let myself sit in that shit, I'm never going to make that mistake again. Like,
Hmm.
it's not going to happen. It's not a fucking option. And I'm so grateful that I didn't shut down and that I let myself feel my feelings and I let myself be disappointed in myself because I fucking dropped
Hmm.
the ball and that doesn't feel good. And it's also, it's like, I don't feel like it's a part of my nature, right? Like, it's like,
Right.
it's not natural, but also we all, have missteps. It was funny because my vagus nerve was so inflamed for like 3 days. Like I couldn't move like my neck or my arms. I was like, okay, I get it, nervous system. Like that was really hard. But it felt like it was like a threshold I broke through, right? Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
I think one thing that popped up, because with the things to consider before becoming a parent, when we were talking about being really mindful of um, how you were parented
Mm,
and making those changes, one thing that I thought of too while you were talking was creating the environment, like within your, not just a mindset shift of creating this environment in your head, but what are you going to do? What kind of an environment are you going to create for your kids that is nurturing, calm, caring within your house, especially if you grew up in a chaotic house? What are
yeah,
you going to do so that is, again, that's something that we didn't know, right? If we come from a
right.
chaotic house, we don't know what a calm house looks like. So what do we have to do to figure out how we are going to parent in that way or create this environment so they can then again have that step up in
Yeah,
comparison to what we did. So I think that's like something to consider as before you become a parent too, is like what are you going to create that you don't know how to create yet or that
yep,
you weren't taught.
yep. Being willing to search out resources, being willing to try something different. Like if you have the means, go to therapy first. Like
Mm-hmm.
find yourself a person who can help you work out your neuroses so that you don't pass those on to your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um did you guys have to take any parenting classes or like birthing classes? What
we
was that?
did we
What was
just
that like?
did um I don't know, it was change this doll,
Yeah,
put the clothes on it, take the clothes off and give it a bath. And it was, I don't know, I feel like we just did it because I thought we were supposed to do something like that.
right,
But it's
right,
not like it was stuff that I didn't already know.
right. Yeah,
No, we did not have to do anything.
Yeah.
yeah,
No, yeah,
I don't think we had to, but we just
did.
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 Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, looking at it,
yeah.
it was like, yeah. I remember one of the people asked when she could start drinking. And I was like, that's what I learned from that. What sticks out to me the most is that there was a mom there that was asking how long after breastfeeding and having her baby she could drink. And I was like, oh, fuck me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I did take a infant massage class
Ooh,
after my
Ooh,
first child was born. And I feel like that
cute.
helped in so many different ways, like bonding.
yeah.
If they had a stomach ache, they taught you different techniques to
Mm,
help the baby through it. So I feel like that was really beneficial for me, but that was after she was already born.
Hmm.
sure. That's so cool.
But
I
then I
want to
got
do
to
that.
do, the massage, like,
Yeah.
we like just hands on, we're doing it. And
So cool.
so we did do
That to
that.
me
So
would
I
probably be
did.
more beneficial if they
Yeah,
did
yeah.
that with for every single
Oh, yeah.
mom. Well, just like they do a lactation consultant.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think that there should be groups set up for real life, what the fuck is happening to my body. And I
Hmm.
think that's almost at any age
Yeah.
because like
yeah.
life, your body continues to change.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really or women really understand what happens to your body
Oh,
when
agreed. I
you're
don't think it's
growing an
talked about.
alien in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
Hmm.
have to have Teresa on so she can
Oh,
school
for
us all on that.
Yeah.
sure. That's a great idea.
Um, what was your guys' experiences like growing up? Like, did you love kids? Did you hate kids? Like, did you have that nurturing, mothering instinct online always, or was it something you developed?
I would say mine was more developed because I was the youngest child.
Ooh,
And I didn't have, I finally did have two younger cousins, but I would think I was already like a tween.
yeah.
Um, and so mine was definitely developed. I never had this, oh, I'm gonna have babies and get married. Like
Hmm.
it just wasn't in my cards, but cards switched up on me.
Funny how life does that to
I know.
Yeah.
Natasha, you made a face, so I need to
Yeah.
hear your.
As a parent, or as a parent already parentified, as a
Yeah.
child of divorced parents and being the oldest sibling, that was just court ordered. There was no choice with that. It was just you get
You
to
became a
now be
parent.
responsible for
Yeah.
helping take care of three smaller children. So, yeah, that was not anything either that I was like, oh, I can't wait to have my own kids. I was just like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I need to
A lot of times it makes you
get out
not
of
want
here.
them. Like when I look at parentified people who were parentified children when they grow up, a lot of them don't want to have kids. They want nothing to do with it.
Yeah. I don't think I really thought that I wanted to have kids until I was in my early 20s because that's when
Yeah.
I was going through my medical stuff. So they said that I should have a hysterectomy when I was like 21. And then I was like, that's when I was like, oh, no, that's when I realized that I did want to have kids. When somebody said that I couldn't
Yeah.
or that I should do something so I couldn't, that's when I was like, well, wait, no, you don't get to choose that for me.
Mm.
But it
No.
wasn't until I was like in my early 20s where I was like, well, yeah, I think I do want to have kids someday.
The fact that that's an option for a doctor to suggest to a 21-year-old is insane. Like our medical system is so fucking ass backwards and disgusting.
I
Oh,
think
it
that's
makes me
that's at least
rage.
better because that would at least have been my choice, right? But now there's some places where a wife can't even get a hysterectomy without permission from her husband. If that's not crazy, at least that I'm like, at least I would have had a choice then.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I couldn't imagine
it's
having to ask my husband if, well, is South Dakota? Oh shit,
you're fine. You're fine.
you're gonna beat
It's
me
okay.
out. Is our area like that where you
I
have
don't
to
think
get
so.
permission?
No.
Okay, there are some states where you have like the wife needs permission from their husband to have a hysterectomy, even if she's over the age of I think 27 or whatnot.
That's wild.
Yeah, so at least yeah, crazy, crazy.
Yeah, we have some really crazy laws around our bodies, and
Yeah.
it's kind of insane.
Well, it's funny that they suggested to you a hysterectomy at age 21 or whatever. I worked with somebody when I lived in a different state. She's mid 40s, professional, and her doctor refuses
Mm.
to perform a hysterectomy on her. She does not want children. Like she knows this, and
Mm.
she still to this day has not had one. Like they won't will not provide that surgery for her.
And
It's
she's
so
40.
interesting,
Yeah,
the
she's in her mid
polarity.
40s. Yeah. And that's just barbaric to me.
Yeah.
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 I bet the doctor's a dude.
Oh, of course.
Uh,
That's so frustrating.
yeah. What else about
So
mindset
frustrating.
or things to consider before becoming a parent?
Yeah. I mean, there's so much. Like, and how many people have the luxury of actually getting to figure that out for themselves before they do become a parent? Like, our society is so action driven that it feels
Hmm.
like there's no room for reflection. There's no room for actually knowing what you think and feel. Very little room.
Well, once you
Um,
start dating, people think then you should get married. And then there's people
right.
asking you all the day that you get married when you're going to start having kids. And it's like, why are you so concerned about what's going on between my legs?
I know.
That's fucking weird. That's an awkward
Literally.
question for you.
Yeah. Well, one of the things as a woman, right, the propaganda we're filled with is like you can only get pregnant up until 35, or they call the medical industry calls like a woman that's over 35, they call that a geriatric pregnancy.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. I've
what
had,
a crock of shit.
I think, is it 35?
I think so. I could be wrong.
I think it's younger because
I think it's younger than that.
it's
You
younger
think?
because
Hmm.
I
It's
think I
fucking
was considered
absurd.
Hmm.
geriatric for both of mine.
Really?
I was for sure for the second one.
Think about
Yeah.
what that does to your mind when you
Oh,
have
I don't
this
give a fuck.
doctor saying that. You don't, but think about how many people do. Think about how many
Like,
people really let that affect them. Like, it's crazy.
I'll
Um,
go get me my wheelchair, bitch.
like, I've never been
Cruise me out to
afraid.
my car.
Yes, literally. I've never been afraid of my age and getting pregnant at a late
Mhm.
age, but that's just because my mom comes from a generation where it was very normal for women to get pregnant in their 40s. Very normal.
Mhm.
Um, So I'm very grateful for that. But I know that that's a huge fear in women is, am I even going to be able to get pregnant? Um, Also, like all of the poisons that we're
Yeah.
bombarded with, um, right? Like it affects our
Right. Because
fertility.
yeah, everything in the environment affects our fertility, our hormones, our frequencies. I mean, if we're not vibrating at the right frequency,
Yep.
it's hard for your body to ovulate and work correctly.
Yeah, totally.
And luckily,
Yes.
like I've never had those kind of problems, but like I empathize for people that do. I mean, it's
Yeah.
very traumatic.
It's so common right now too, and it breaks my heart because, right, like, um, mindset is everything. So
Hmm.
if you grow up thinking I can only get pregnant from this age to this age, that's the limit you're going to place on yourself because you're
Right.
co-creating this reality with God. Your mind is like your thoughts are what's creating your reality. So what you believe will be true for you.
Right.
That's something that our society needs to integrate so deeply because everyone's like trust the science, but it's like, but you're not even studying, like when we do group studies on people, they're not taking into account what that person's mental state is. Like
Hmm. What's
that's not
going
even
on
that's
in
not
their
even being looked
lives.
at. Yes, and it's like
Hmm.
that's insane. That's insane. It doesn't make any sense to me. Um but yeah, my heart breaks for anyone that's had fertility issues, um, and like had to struggle with that or had to like do IVF because I know that's like a brutal process or like
Hmm.
it's very in vogue to like freeze your eggs. And I will never do that because I don't think it's necessary. But I know that that will offend a lot of people because a lot of people have frozen their eggs. And I'm
Right.
not saying
Well,
they shouldn't do that. I'm just
mhm.
saying I don't feel the need to do that for myself. If you feel the need to do that, great, do it. That's
Right.
great insurance, right? Like that's gonna give you a peace of mind. Um, and if you need that, do that.
Yeah, and at least the technology is here to help people,
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's something that a couple talks about either,
Right.
when they decide to have children. It's not like you expect to have fertility problems.
Right.
I mean, some people have had how do you say endo?
Endometriosis.
There
Endometriosis.
we go. So some people have that, and as a growing up, and so you maybe that you
Right.
might have some issues, but
Hmm.
for the most part, I think we just think we are fertile Myrtle.
Right. Well, it's funny because in college I had a friend who had endometriosis and she was told she could never get pregnant. Boom, she's at a wedding, gets pregnant. That's pretty
Hello.
cool. Yeah. Well, also like another friend, she was on birth control both times she had kids.
Hmm.
Like both times she conceived, she was on birth control. So like
This is when you know the universe.
you cannot stop God's plan. Like
Yes.
Yes.
you can't. And we need to humble ourselves to that and understand that we're creating with that power, not it's not like against us.
Hmm.
Right. It's benevolent.
It is benevolent.
Yeah.
Mm, cute. Oh, what else? We covered fertility. We covered mindset pretty good. Um, just meeting those basic needs, the safety and security piece.
Yeah, to go
Um,
above this, just the safety security, just spiritually, what are you going
Hmm.
yeah,
to offer your children, and how are you going to help them develop it? And giving them the opportunity, because if this is the only way to believe, then that your child is going to grow into a society, into a headspace where it's this way or no way, when
right.
there are a
Hmm.
lot of different roads to get to the same
Yes.
place.
Yep.
Yes. It's one of the problems with the mind control that is our public school system. It's like they give you a test and there's only one right answer. But that's not how life
Mhm.
works. There are a
Right.
million right answers. There are a million paths to your destination, and you need to give yourself permission to find that path of least resistance. Um mm, there's so many different ways that I could go, but I want to try to just stay concise.
Hmm.
Um, I think one thing that's tricky is like the safety in your own body. Like your
Mm.
body's not going to get pregnant unless you are safe in your own body.
Yep.
I think that's the reason the parents that raised me couldn't conceive because they're both in survival mode. So like they couldn't make a baby. That's why they had to adopt. And it's like, well, yeah, your cortisol levels are both through the roof.
Hmm.
Of course, you shouldn't have a baby. A baby should not be brought into that situation. Like nature
Mm.
is designed this way for a reason, right? Like when I think about like CPS and the paperwork that they had to fill out to get me, it's like crazy, like how little they had to do um to prove that they were a fit system to bring a child into. Um, gosh,
I think
I don't
for
know.
when thinking of like becoming a parent, it's definitely you don't necessarily know what's going to happen.
Right.
Some people can plan, some people can't. Um, in the end, it's our responsibility as parents to do our best in order to allow our children to do their best too. And if that means we have to
Yeah.
figure shit out, we have to learn, we have to go to therapy,
Mm,
we have to do, you know, become sober, whatever that is.
yeah.
That's our responsibility.
Yeah. Well,
Hard or not,
right.
it has to be done if you want to make good, substantial, and significant changes for in your kids' life in comparison to what yours was.
Yeah. Um, I think a lot of parents see their kids as property versus humans.
Mm,
So they think that there's like a checklist, and then if I meet this checklist, like if I meet their basic needs, I did my job. I did good enough. right? And it's like the most harmful thing you can do to your kid is one, not let them be a kid, but two, already have planned out their life for them. Like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people just want their kid to do what they did, right? Like, oh, they're gonna play the same sports I played, so I can enjoy watching them, right? Or like, um, thinking that they need to have a specific job so that they're successful and supported for life. Great, but like what if that kid's not meant to be a doctor? What if that kid is like
Mm-hmm.
the next most brilliant artist and you're keeping them from that because being an artist isn't seen as a lucrative or respectable job, right? And insert anything there.
Hmm.
Like, do you have the capacity to let this little being become what it's supposed to become, or are you going to like cut the plant off at the root and not let it become what it's supposed to become?
Mm-hmm. If there's a lot of like that emotional growth or that work needs to come from people, ready or not, like unplanned, planned, like we know how babies are made. Like,
Well, no matter if you plan or don't plan, it is
right.
a you don't know what to expect
Yeah.
at
Right.
all. Even with your second child, you still don't know what to expect because you've
Yeah.
only had one.
Yep. And they're both going
Yeah.
to be completely different, like
Yeah.
completely opposite children. I'm like, what the hell happened here? Like, they lived in the same house. Well, and you even think too, like, oh, they have the same parents, but they don't. Just
Yeah.
No.
like Kara was saying earlier, like, I like even to have adult children, when you tell them, I haven't done this before, because every day is different, every day is something new.
Yeah.
But remember them as the blessing that they are,
Hmm.
um, and what a gift it is to have that they chose you. I tell my
Yeah.
kids all the time, I'm like, thank you for choosing me. What do you mean? You picked me out of all of the fucking people in the whole universe. That you picked me. You weren't, I didn't have you. You chose for me to be your parent. And I appreciate
Yeah.
that from you.
Yeah.
And we have
Yeah.
to look at them as that they are gifts. Like they picked us, not us
Hmm.
picking them.
Yep. And they are gifts, right? They bring their
Mm-hmm.
own innate gifts, their own core soul frequency to the earth because it's something that the earth needs for her
Yeah.
own growth and evolution.
Yeah.
And it just shows how disconnected we are from the earth and how much we've trespassed against her and ruined her in so many ways. Um, right? Like we see the disrespect to women on all levels, right? Where it's human to earth to animal to it's rough. Yeah. Do we have anything else? We talked about mindset, getting your right? Like it's go time, right? So you got to do what you got to do when you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, hmm. What about physically? Like Natasha, I know like going to the gym is really important for you, right? Like you
Mm-hmm.
want to be here for a long time. Eating those whole foods, those nutritious foods, the things that are gonna be appropriate energy for our body.
Mm-hmm. What do you want me to elaborate on that part?
No, just can you think of anything else? Mental,
Oh,
physical, spiritual?
I think that that the mental piece is the biggest part that we have to be aware of, I guess. Like the physical
Yeah.
stuff will come when we can make the time and let our body fall back into place and space. And but what do you want your what do you want your kids to be exposed to? Like what's the
Mm,
environment? Because you have power and control over that. Most of us have control over that for the most part.
yeah.
We choose, for the most part, most of the population chooses where they're going to live and chooses if they're going to be in a house or if they're not. Um, but no matter what type of home you live in, you create the energy of that space.
Yep.
So if you can live in a 20,000 square foot house, you can be like me and live in a 2,000 square foot house. Whatever
Hmm.
you put inside of that's going to be more of a contributor to your kids than than what the house that they live in looks like. And you
Totally.
control that as the parent.
Yeah.
You control the energy that's inside of your house. And
Yep.
you control how your kids are impacted by that. And if
Yeah.
and if you don't have all your shit together, then you need to take the time to do that
You got work
and
to do.
constantly be evolving with that.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, that's another great piece is like, who are you bringing into your life that are going to be around your kids?
Which is
Should they
like
be
what
around your
Kara,
kids?
which is like what Kara was talking about with like partnership too. Like,
Yeah.
who are you creating those people, those children, and those beings with?
Yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
even beyond that, like the friends that you have in your life,
Mm-hmm.
the extended family, like maybe some of your extended family shouldn't be around your kids. Maybe that's a call
Yeah.
you need to make, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of hard decisions are made once you have kids and it almost brings a level of clarity
Mm-hmm.
that I wish we could find in other ways, right? Because it's like you shouldn't have to have a kid to be able to see the truth, but I guess that's just some people's path. Do we feel good about this? Did we cover everything?
I
Yeah.
think so. It's a pretty
Okay.
good chunk.
Yeah, I
Pretty
think
good
so.
chunk.
That was a good conversation. We could probably um have this conversation again with other people too. Like
Yeah.
Hmm.
definitely leave in the comments, right? Like how has parenthood changed you? What have you had
Mm-hmm.
to, how have you evolved? How have you pivoted?
Yep.
What are some ways you've let your kids become kids, right? Because like you have to let your kids make mistakes too, because that's how we learn.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you give them the space to be a kid? Do you give them the space to be playfully curious and be self-learners, be self-starters? Do you let them be themselves, or do you make parts of them wrong?
Mm.
Um, Yeah. Like, also, if you want to drop it in the comments, like, what did it look like for you to become a parent? Was it a oopsie or was it something you planned? Was it something where you were able to prep a lot? Like, I have been able to prep myself so deeply for this journey whenever it happens that I am so confident and so solid. And I know I'm still gonna fuck it up. I know I'm still gonna make mistakes and I'm gonna need a lot of help. And that's okay. Okay, honeys, I think that's it. We'll see you next time. Okay, love you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.